My name is Steve Layton, and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 416. Good to be here. Hello everybody. News. So, Marmite Gate. You may have read in the news about Marmite Gate and how they tried to put up their prices even though the stuff's made in the UK, and it created a whole backlash. I've written a blog post which is kind of like Marmite Gate, but coffee isn't made in the UK. Although I did get a comment from somebody on the Twitter saying maybe I should try and source British coffee instead of importing it from elsewhere. Didn't really respond to that one. It's all about kind of post-Brexit, how the currency fluctuations and the exchange rates have changed dramatically, and the impact I think that's going to have on coffee in the next few months and years. I think this is definitely going to be something that's going to impact us in all areas of life. Inflation is definitely going to kind of go a little bit crazy. But go read it. It's hasblog.co.uk. Very proud of it. I kind of really enjoyed writing it. It was something that was very liberating and very enjoyable, and a lot of positive feedback on it. So apart from the guy who wants me to buy British coffee, if you know of any British coffee farms, do let me know. So this week's coffee is from Guatemala. Terrible. I'm not buying British. I need to let that go, don't I? It's from Guatemala, and it's from our friend Beto. Beto owns a farm called Limon, which is Limon San Patricio, which is in Guatemala, right about there, outside Guatemala City, in the town called Palencia. Farm is around about 1,600 metres above sea level, and this is the filter coffee of it. So it's a black honey process, and I think you really get that in the taste. So black honey is where you remove the mucilage, you remove the fruit of the cherry, but you leave majority of the mucilage on. Black honey is like lots of the sticky mucilage, and it gives it like almost a natural-esque kind of flavour to it. Now, Beto had never done this process up until last year, when he was helped by my friend and the guy who introduced me to Beto, Raul Rodas, who's the 2012 World Barista Champion, owns a coffee shop called Paradigma Coffee, and helps me import coffee from Guatemala. He's kind of like my man on the ground. Although with Beto now we're working directly with him because Beto's a fairly large producer, and it just didn't make sense to have Raul in there. But it does make sense to have him with lots of the other producers, and does a great job for us. So the filter coffee, you get lots of like dark chocolate. And I hate using the descriptor chocolate because I'm trying to rein it in because everything is chocolate. But this is real dark chocolate, like high cocoa content chocolate. There's a little bit of like sultana, real kind of like black cherry flavour to it as well. It's absolutely delicious as a brewed coffee. And you really get lots of that's naturals. So as I said, it's in the town of the Palencia, which is just outside Guatemala City. And we should let the map bit show us that now. Map bit. Across the ocean we go. It's the map bit. We're interested in Guatemala, so we're going to go down to Guatemala, and here we have the country of Guatemala. Fine country. Here's a fact. Guatemala invented the first chocolate bar during Mayan times. God bless them for chocolate. So we're interested in El Limon, which you can see there is just to the right of Guatemala City. Some great views from this farm. It's so photogenic. I love visiting and taking all of the pictures. It really is super pretty, super well run, very well organised, very clean, all important things. Here's me and Beto shaking hands. But yeah, you can get an idea of the topography here. So we're really up on the hill overlooking the town of Palencia. And you just see, look at all that massive mountainous region. It's There's the highest point, 4,200 metres above sea level. The lowest point, of course, being the ocean, as it is not a landlocked country, thank the Lord. And that was this week's Map Bit. So I met Beto first off in 2013 when I visited Guatemala, and the first thing that struck me was like just how much he wanted to improve. So lots of the farm is built around trying to improve facilities for the people that work there, trying to improve the quality of the coffee, trying to improve his plant stock. And one of the things he's done is plant lots of different varietals. Now this comes from 75% San Ramon, which is originates from Brazil, but is used a lot in Central America, and it's kind of like a Bourbon mutation-y type coffee. And then we have Catisic, which is 25%. 25% is Catisic, and Catisic is, I'm going to read it because I will forget. Timor Hybrid 832/1, catchy name, and Catura, which we know fairly well. This was developed by the El Salvadorian Council for Specialty Coffee, and developed to give itself leaf resistancy and high yield. Needs a fair bit of altitude, and it's a good job that El Limon has that 1,600 metres to grow. High yield, fairly low yield to start off with, and does have some Robusta roots. So Catimor is basically Robusta, and it's crossed with that. So it's crossed to have the benefit of the leaf rust resistance and healthy strong roots, but then to have the deliciousness and tastiness of the Catura, which is mixed in there for taste and flavour, and it really is something delicious. So what we should do now is we should go to the fact file. Facts. That's what we need, facts, but figures may change. So we are interested in Guatemala this week. That little bit to the right is Belize. God bless the English for taking there. 108 kilometres, 108,000 kilometres land area. The 8th biggest coffee producer in the world. So a lot of coffee being produced in Guatemala. Total coffee production around about 4 million bags, which equates to 240,000 metric tonnes. Common varietals, well, you've got Bourbon, you see a lot of Catura, a lot of Typica, very typical coffee varietals. Coffee's grown between 500 and 2,200 metres above sea level. 10 farms that we work with in Guatemala, very proud to work with those farms too. And a lot of different varietals from each, San Patricio, El Limon being one. So we've got owned by Guadalupe Alberto Reyes, or Beto. This processes black honey, altitude 1,600 metres, near the city of Palencia, in the city of Guatemala, and that was the fact file. So I'm going to go into the espresso. And again, black cherry, lots of black cherry. Beautiful acidity, like controlled, with that dark bitter chocolate bite to it, like that dark chocolate, like real high cocoa content stuff, like I said earlier. And I cannot wait to try it in the milk because it's such a powerful coffee. It really shows the effect that processing has on a coffee when you get one like this. So, as I was saying, Beto had never tried this until Raul went up and said, let's have this a go. And this is the second year of us having it now. And I'm really am impressed. From a standing start to produce something so delicious. It really is good. The farm is just a model. It's a model of perfect run farm. It really is super good. And Beto is like the nicest guy. Like, and Beto Jr. just, I can literally get my phone out now and WhatsApp them and they'll respond straight away. They've almost become like friends of Has Been, much more than people we buy from, which is something we like to try and do if we can. Okay, speaking of friends of Has Been, my friend and your friend, Roland. The capital of Guatemala City used to be Antigua, but getting sick of volcanic eruptions, they moved it 60 kilometres up the road to Guatemala City. Moved a whole city! So I've got a super busy few weeks coming up of In My Mugs. I'm going to be doing one in Dundee fairly soon. And going to be doing one with an exporter from Colombia. Going to be mixing it up again. So we've had a couple of weeks back in the studio. It's time for us to get back out there. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. And do remember, life is definitely too short for bad coffee.